An MP says a report into child abuse at a Birmingham nursery is a whitewash and a cover-up. An independent review accepts opportunities were missed to stop paedophile Paul Wilson abusing toddlers in his care.
But John Hemming says it should go further and identify who made mistakes and whether they face disciplinary action. Giles Latcham reports.
Deviant and manipulative, nursery worker Paul Wilson succeeded in abusing children at Little Stars in Nechells months longer than he should have. He was trusted because his mum used to run the place and management was weak.
Strong management and leadership is vital in setting that culture of safeguarding, and that has to be the top priority of any nursery.
But others should have been watching out for the children of Little Stars, which has since closed down. Staff at the inspection body Ofsted were warned that Wilson had a special relationship with a toddler whom he sat on his knee and spent time alone with, but that didn't trigger their alarm bells. The City Council's Children's Services, notorious for failure, failed again. Staff in 3 separate departments, not sharing information, not properly investigating concerns about Wilson's behaviour. In a statement, Ofsted said, "We have long since strengthened our inspection and investigation practices." The City Council acknowledged that a referral to us wasn't followed through and that this meant Paul Wilson was able to continue undetected for a longer period. Ofsted and the City Council have refused our requests for interviews. For MP John Hemming, the report from the Safeguarding Children Board doesn't go far enough.
There's no public accountability. We really don't know who failed to investigate on each individual case. The voices of the vulnerable, their family, have been shut out of this, and all we have is some professionals saying lessons will be learned. Well, they said that previously.
Wilson was smart and he might have dodged child protection measures had they worked, but Little Stars is yet another case in which they didn't. Giles Latcham, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
Enough Abuse UK is a charity aimed at reducing the incidence of child sexual abuse, and I'm joined now by its founder, Marilyn Hawes. Good evening, Marilyn. You're a former teacher. You founded this charity, but you have a very personal reason for founding this charity, don't you?
Yes, I understand how people are caught up in the duplicitous behaviour of someone like Wilson, but when it happened to me, you're going back into the 1980s, and I discovered it 11, 12 years ago, which is why Enough Abuse was established. You know, I listened yesterday to Jane Held commenting on it has to be and must be the responsibility of the perpetrator. Well, yes, that's true. But if you're in a duty of care environment of children where you have the onerous responsibility at any level of caring for somebody else's child in their absence, then I'm afraid you are accountable for the processes and procedures and the education that you put in place or fail to put in place. Now, 18 months ago, I visited, on behalf of Enough Abuse, I visited the then Children's Minister, Tim Loughton. He asked us to write to every single independent chair and safeguarding board in the UK, which we did by letter, not email. Not one safeguarding board replied to us. Not one independent chairperson replied to us. I questioned 5 of them who said, if we went down this route of the education that you're saying, of raising real awareness, then we'd be swamped.
So what about the awareness? Why do you think people don't spot the signs? Is it because they don't know what to look out for, because they're frightened to?
Well, they don't want to know. That's the whole point.
But why don't they want to know, do you think?
Because they don't think it'll happen.
They don't want to think what will happen, sorry.
But they don't think it happens in their backyard or in their family or in their organisation. The number of schools, churches, organisations that don't want to realise this problem is big in this country, and people don't want to realise it.
So what's the answer, Marilyn? I'm sure it's not a quick fix.
The answer is education, proper education about what to notice, what to spot. It's nothing to do with reporting or resources, research things and processes and procedures. It's about the behaviour of the abuser. That was classic signs he displayed of putting a child on his lap, seeking to be alone. So whatever training these people put in place for this centre,
isn't there a danger that we scaremonger though? That
no.
Clearly we have to be aware, but that there is a line that can be crossed.
No, if you don't get scared about having a child be taught how to cross the road, do you? Or how a child swims. You expect a child to learn to swim, not to play with fire, because it saves them. This crime, if a child is significantly affected by abuse through its childhood, this crime will cause permanent damage to brain development.
Marilyn
That's how
Hawes,
you get the distorted thinking.
Marilyn Hawes, thank you. Emsley there. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 7:15. This is our